This presentation of BattleTech Advanced brought to you by Commando Gaming Strategic Gaming and brought to you live on twitch.tv at Commando Gaming 1. We're continuing our series on BattleTech Advanced. So let's jump right into it. Looking forward to a great stream today. Let's have some fun and have some interaction in the chat, because that's what it's all about. Otherwise, you guys would be playing on your own. So let's get into it. All right. Let's find ourselves a nice mission to start out. I always recommend to people their first battle of the day, try to pick something that is kind of a warm-up to get your brain going. Hey, Goggles, thank you for joining, as always. We're coming up with a, let's see, we're tracking in Pirate Lance. We're going to start out, as always, I like to recommend to people, if they've taken a break from BTA, whether it's a couple hours or a day or what have you, pick a mission that's a little lighter so that you can get your bearings and get into a groove. Still looking for some mediums other than Pokey here. So we've got Pokey, our Dervish, 2 fire starters, a Panther, and let's take a Raptor. And let's take a T-Bone in the Raptor. Let's see, Torture Watcher, skewed one. Instead of Coach here, let's get Goggles into the mech bay. Goggles, hopefully you're going to have a good drop here, putting you in the Panther. Give me 1 minute. Let me do a little tweak to the webcam here. I'll let that load. There we go. There we go. Nobody needs to see me that close, including me. So, I'm glad we got that fixed. Goggles, how's your playthrough going? Do you have any questions? I see you putting in a ton of hours. Every time I go on Discord, you're playing BTA, which makes me happy, because that means that you really enjoy the game, and you're enjoying your quality time. It also makes me jealous, because I wish I could play as many hours as you do. Unfortunately, it's just not in the cards for me. I remember
command interface initiated.
I remember the days when I would put in, especially on a day off, I would easily put in 12 plus hours in BTA. But now, don't have that same experience. Or not the experience, but the same time available.
What can I do for you?
Alright, so we got a destroy the pirate lance, destroy the pirate support lance. Alright, so we got a straight up battle here. So let's try to get us into some good terrain here. This is an interesting Raptor, because it's got 5 ER medium lasers, which is a lot of firepower for a little Raptor. Kind of an interesting version of the Raptor. I did have 2 raptors, but I did 1 mission off camera last night. I thought it was just going to be a milk run, and next thing you know, I had a dead raptor. So it happens. Hetzer got a lucky AC5 to the back of the head of
What can I do for you?
the raptor, or actually to the back of the center torso of the raptor.
I read you, Commander.
So,
Moving out.
luckily, it didn't hit the pilot, but obviously that was a little disappointing to lose a raptor right out of the gate. Goggle says, well, I am playing only BTA, but I leave it running when I am working and treat the battle as a treat after finishing some work tasks. So not on all that time. Okay, well, that's... I get it. I understand. We're living in a working remote world right now. So I remember doing something very similar when I first discovered BattleTech. I think I would take a break every couple hours, play a mission, and then work. Goggle says his kids are grown, so I don't have any responsibilities, and we're on a COVID lockdown, so loads of available time. So I could relate to that. My son is 14, and there's a good chunk of me that wants to be very conflicted about my son's growth and how that's going to impact my free time in the future. However, my significant other, while fairly understanding, I don't know how happy she would be if I just said, well, kids are grown now, I can spend all my time playing games. So I don't know how much things will change for me that much. Low hit percent chance here. So we'll shoot our lasers because they don't require ammo.
Sometimes failing is important. However,
one thing that hurt me is I did have a tag on that raptor that got destroyed. And the raptor that I have now does not have a tag. Probably should put one on. The raptor's a really good scout. The configuration I have with the 5 medium lasers, ER medium lasers, really makes it a good flanker and backstabber. Ooh, Thunderbolts. We got a Thunderbolt launcher, probably a vehicle. Probably that vehicle right there. That's going to be a real pain. Oh, it looks like we also have an LRM boat as one of those vehicles. Hey, Skewed One. Good to see you. How are your BTA travels? How are things at work?
Right, Commander.
Quick programming note. So, we are going to continue our PvP gameplay, and we're going to see if we can make it a regular feature weekly. So we're moving it to 3 p.m. East Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time, and we're going to have fun with it. Not only are we going to play each other, but we could certainly play with anyone else that follows us that wants to give it a go.
This should be good.
And what we have to do if we want to do it on stream is you would want to play either myself or IMG, because both of us obviously have the streaming capability. And obviously we want to play it on stream. So if anybody has an interest, we're IMG and I are still playing through our challenge. Not sure how much longer it will last. IMG had some great strategy and gameplay in our first day of gameplay. So he's up 2 games to none. We'll see if I can even things up and make it interesting. Now, but once we're done with that, we're very open to continuing to do it on a weekly basis. Yeah, Cypher. I wish that first disconnect didn't happen, because I thought I was in a really good position to win the first game, but that's the way it goes sometimes. You know, it's all friendly fun. Playing a human competitor is nothing like playing the AI. So, if anyone wants to take a stab at PvP, please reach out to us and let us know, and we could set that up. We'll probably set up our... So it's going to be... If we're going to do it as a weekly thing, we're going to want to figure out who's going to play, you know, a good week ahead of time. Just to make sure we set it up, get all the minutiae sorted out, make sure everybody has plenty of time to practice if they feel they want to.
What do you want?
So the goal will be to say, you know, just picking names off the hat. We'll say, all right, and this week it's going to be Goggles versus IMG in the Thunderdome. And then everybody could tune in and see how it goes. And we could probably get 2 or 3 matches in the 2 hours we have allotted. And we're going to do that as long as we feel like there's enough interest to get 10 or 15 people to watch. At least 10 or 15 people to watch. And we have enough people who want to give it a try. I did look back at the chat from our playthrough, and there did seem to be a lot of people who seemed interested in giving it a whirl. So it's actually very easy to disable your mods and get back to vanilla Battletech without uninstalling anything. You just turn the mods off. And I could tell you how to do that. It's fairly easy. Turning them on again probably takes a little while depending on your RAM speed, because basically you have to turn the game on several times to get your BTA back. Oh, all right, we got another enemy force.
I hear ya.
Now that second enemy force will be fighting the first enemy force.
I read you, Commander. Moving out.
All right, so let's see this raptor here. With a precision strike, can actually be pretty deadly for its size.
Commencing Alpha Strike.
Granted, we're going up against a locust there, but 5
Another hit like that.
ER medium lasers is nasty. Yeah, I don't think we'll have the disconnects again. That was an isolated incident. So I think we'll be alright. But playing against a human opponent can be completely different and extremely challenging.
Waiting on you, Commander.
You know, IMG and I played 3 matches, or 2.5 if you count the disconnected match. And, you know, while one of the matches was over pretty quickly,
Get you next time.
2 of the 3 matches were really neck and neck. They really could have gone either way.
Yes, Commander.
So we'll see if we can't even things up
All right, full speed.
when we play on Saturday. But it's all for fun, you know. You know, I could say for a fact that when you play against a human opponent, you learn a lot. And I definitely mean that in a good way. It was very fun. It was very challenging.
Daniel.
And it really did make me reminisce about playing chess or some other strategy game. Yeah, Yeah, if there's enough interest, we could set up some sort of tournament. Or see, the tricky part is,
That's a kill.
unless you broadcast your feed through Discord, we can't get it on stream unless you're playing a streamer. Otherwise, it would be really hard to do. But sure, if we're still doing it a couple months from now, and if somebody's like, "Hey, let's put together a tournament," let's do it. I think that would be a lot of fun. I'm sure that there's ways that we can, probably through Discord,
On the clock. What do you want?
capture the video and stream
All right,
it.
let's get down to it. Let's see if I'm smart enough to line this up.
LRM 20 carrier, that's what was doing the LRM vomit earlier. I'm not seeing any mechs here, other than the mechs that just dropped. So the question is, are the enemy mechs back here? Yeah, it looks like there's at least one enemy pirate mech. I'd like to get some salvage out of this mission. Ooh. Ouch. Hard hits on our Panther there.
Trouble. What can I do for you?
Man, it only takes one bad salvo to put your Lance in a bad situation here. Alright, let's do a precision strike with these 5 ER medium
Firing
lasers.
everything I've got.
Lots of damage on that carrier from that. I would have thought that would have finished off the carrier, actually.
I hear ya. Got it.
Alright, let's get rid of these vehicles. Yeah, so we'll see how many people are interested. If not, I know IMG and I will be happy to just play each other
Uh-huh.
once a week, if need be. You know, we had a expression in the military that I believed 100%, which was steel sharpens steel. So
Ready for orders. On it.
when you play somebody of really high quality,
Shot.
your gameplay is going to go up exponentially. Skewed One put together a Thunderbolt that's now a missile boat. Okay, that's an interesting use of a Thunderbolt. Did you put Thunderbolt launchers on your Thunderbolt? Just for comedic value. That would be kind of cool. Let's get rid of this carrier, hopefully. Come on. There we go. I gotta be careful with that Panther the rest of this mission. It's about to lose all of its medium lasers, which is not good. Fortunately, we have that other force that's fighting the pirates. Always happy to have another force come in and
Let's make
do
some
my dirty
bad
work for me.
decisions at high speed.
Good point. Not enough hard points on the Thunderbolt. I agree, Skewed One. I just think that would be ironic. I do wish that a Thunderbolt was not both a mech and a ammo. Goggle says I keep throwing his player character to the lions. Well, you know what? He's not hurt. And, you know, I trust him, Goggles. I trust you to be a superior, a superior pilot.
I hear ya.
And that means I trust you to get the job done.
Got it. Max speed, no shooting.
Yeah, I just think Thunderbolt should... I mean, I know that there's a lot of lore and there's a lot of weapons in BattleTech, but it would be nice if a name for something is just one thing. That's right, Darker Design. He did not die. He is one of my better pilots, which is why I'm trusting him. And Goggles pulled me aside in the Argo while we were having a meal, and he said, "Look, I need to be in the thick of things. Ooh, look at this nasty SRM-6 carrier. We got to get rid of this thing."
There's more where
That's what hit Goggles right there. All those SRM-6s. We got to take that thing out before it can shoot again. So, you know, Goggles, you told me in...
Double time. Let's go.
over that meal that you wanted to be in the thick of the fight. So, don't complain now. This is what you wanted. You told me on the Argo that you wanted to be the tip of the spear.
On my way. Double time.
I do have to say, I do love these maps that have the lava mixed with the freezing cold. It's just beautiful. Beautiful contrast, especially when you see it on screen. The lava mixed in with the freezing cold. Alright. So, Skewed One, have you found a lot of use for the lamb?
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
I would like to like the lamb, and I have 2 lambs
Let's make
available,
some bad decisions at high
but
speed.
they were so breaky,
Let's
and
see
that is a technical term,
this up.
breaky, that I really couldn't stay on top of
Who
them.
brings a tank to a mech fight? All right, Capellans.
You know, I really like the idea of,
I can see why people enjoy
The
this
lamb.
line of work.
and if I can get that 55-ton lamb, then we might be in a good position to really use a lamb consistently.
Going turbo.
Even if it's just to fly ahead and then transform as a armored scout. But the Stinger lambs that I have are just so breakable.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing for Skewed One is he put together a Phoenix lamb, which is the second best lamb there is. The number 1 lamb would be a... oh, here's that Thunderbolt carrier.
Here
The
we
number
go.
1 lamb would be the Shadowhawk lamb. It's very rare, but it's 55 tons, so when it does transform out of lamb mode, it should have enough armor to be survivable.
Commander.
But I would love to have a Phoenix Hawk Lamb, because I think that would be a viable
Moving fast.
scout. The Stingers I have are just too fragile. I mean, even when they're in mech mode, Stingers are pretty fragile. But when you combine that with Lamb mode, it's pretty hard. But I think that's a good strategy, Skewed
Ready for
One.
orders.
That's a good use of those mechs for backstabbing,
Go.
retreat, and scouting. I agree. And I think that's why lambs just were not largely successful in lore. Because they were just never a refined technology. They were always an experimental technology for the most part. And being fragile was their big negative. If you look at the lore, them being fragile was always the biggest negative by far.
What do you want?
Yeah, my understanding is the Shadowhawk Lamb is still very, very fast. Not quite as fast as a Phoenix Hawk, but close. And it's got that extra armor. And firepower, too. Wow, there's a pretty intense fight going on down there, and I just hope
Waiting on you, Commander.
I can get there in time to be a part of that fight. Alright, let's see, Raptor. This Raptor should be really good with melee, because we can get our free kick in, and then we shoot those 5 ER medium lasers. Should finish off this light carrier. Yep, good.
Knocked out a vehicle.
But that being said, Skewed One, I certainly like the Lamb update a lot more than I like the Battle Armor update. That was disappointing. As someone who grew up reading the lore, it just feels like the battle armor should be more useful than it is. Ooh, a dervish. Hello. Can you say salvage? We gotta try to maximize the salvage on this dervish. Oh, I say as I blow it up.
And stay down.
Oh, man. I cursed myself there. 2 medium lasers should not have blown up a dervish. Must have had a lot of damage to the rear torso. Oh, there's a blackjack too.
Waiting for orders.
Alright, we're definitely stepping up on difficulty here. If we had a blackjack and a dervish
On my
in the
way.
opposing force. It's just too bad that we're getting to the tail end of this fight. Otherwise, I could have tried to maximize salvage on some of those.
Orders.
I don't know about the pirate blackjack, though. I don't know if that would be
Confirmed.
very good. Alright, Goggles. Putting you back towards the front again. You can handle it, I know.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
Alright, let's see what we got going on. These two enemy forces have been softening each other up, so hopefully we're going to have a pretty smooth end to this mission with some decent salvage. Alright, we got a javelin. Might be able to finish off this blackjack. Let's see if we get some lucky hits to the center torso. Nope, not enough. That blackjack's pretty beat up. Ooh, a primitive dervish. The good thing is you could take a primitive dervish, and as long as you have 2 regular dervishes and 1 primitive dervish, then you can use the primitive dervish parts to get yourself a full dervish. Now, if you use 3 primitive dervish parts and 1 regular dervish part, you're going to get a primitive dervish. So be very careful that when you're combining primitive with anything, that you have at least 2 of the good version before you use the primitive version, or you're going to end up with a primitive, and that's just
Waiting for orders.
not very useful.
Got it.
Hey, M. Simmons. Thanks for joining. Just doing some casual gameplay on a Monday. It is Monday, right? I lose track of time sometimes.
Hey, buddy, behind you.
Alright.
Orders.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing an increased... Alright, let's be smart about using goggles here. Let's put them
On the
towards the
move.
back a
Full
little
speed.
bit. He's already got some damage. All kidding aside. Alright, we got a Panther. The Panther with the large laser instead of the PPC. That's a significant downgrade.
Confirmed.
Let's show him what weapon he should have. Oh, I say that and then I miss.
Adjusting
Talking
target.
smack and then missing the shot is not good.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
Alright, these enemies are beating each other up pretty good, so let's make sure we use cover. And let's see.
Oh, now that's a sweet sight picture.
That's probably enough to finish off that fire starter. Yep.
I'm legally
3
obligated.
salvageable parts. Not bad for a rear shot.
Waiting on
Normally
you,
I would
Commander.
have expected to only get 1 part of that, but I'll take it.
Coordinates received.
Alright, let's do another precision strike here. This primitive dervish
All weapons.
has the drop on us.
Go.
Luckily, his weapons are not that concerning. Neither is smacking the cam. May say you're too loud with the smacking of your food. I'm not eating any food. Is the microphone too
I
high?
hear
If
ya.
so, I can turn it down. I'm certainly not eating
On
this
my way.
on camera. I would never do that. I'm a professional. That reminds me, I have to remind IMG and a skewed one, you should remind him too. He owes you the eating of a salad on a stream. So we should remind him and make sure he takes care of that before we forget. Oh, you were joking. Okay, good. Yeah, no, I get up early and I have my breakfast before my streams.
Roger.
Alright, let's keep hitting this dervish.
Target.
Haha, I see.
Commander.
I see. As usual, Simmons, your comedy is above my head.
Firing full complement on enemy.
Haha, you made yourself a reminder. Good, because you spent your channel
I'm on the
points.
clock. What do you want?
And we want to make sure every channel point that you guys use is used well. Alright, so we got that Panther. So here's the thing. I would love to just ignore this primitive dervish, but we're going to have to use precision strikes just to get rid of it. It kind of has the drop on us from a position standpoint, so it has to become the primary target.
Well, who needed salvage anyways?
But I would love to try to get as many parts of that dervish as we can.
Critical
Oof.
hit.
Ah, I can see why people...
Goggles, can
I
you
hear
please take care of our Panther, please? You know, it's not expensive to
On my
repair
way.
those. I mean, it's not inexpensive to repair those Panthers. Alright, let's keep working on this dervish. It would be nice if we hit a leg here. Alright, that's not the leg I was hoping for, but that works. Skewed One, did you like the last WandaVision? My theory, I think it was good. So, if you understand the comics, you now know what happened at the end of the episode for the last episode. But for people who didn't understand, they were kind of scratching their heads like, huh? What happened? You know, I don't want to give any spoilers, but I think the next episode is going to be much longer,
Firing on target.
and it's going to be focused on what's happening outside of the alternate reality. So I think we're going to have more of Sword and what's going on outside of the reality that Wanda has created for herself. So I think the next episode is going to be very revealing in WandaVision. And I think some people that were looking for a more traditional sci-fi action hero show are going to get the payoff next episode. Alright. You have to
Moving to position.
keep the Panther evasive. Don't want to take too many more shots on our Panther here.
I'm on the clock. What do you want? I'm on the clock. What do you want? All right.
Yeah,
let's
I mean,
get
there, a lot of people are confused by WandaVision, and I think if they're sticking with it, they're going to get a lot more clarity in the next episode about what's going on,
Well, who needed
and
salvage anyways?
they're going to get a lot of background narrative about what's going on with Wanda. Ouch. How the rest of the world is trying
Reporting
to
internal damage.
how the rest of the world is trying to cope
Waiting on you,
with
Commander.
with what's going on with Wanda. Another thing I would like to see them say is, you know, what's going on with the Avengers, right? Because if Wanda is having some sort of an issue, and we know how powerful she is, why wouldn't the rest of the Avengers be involved in dealing with whatever's
When I
going
shoot
on?
you, you'll take
So
it
again, I don't want to
like-
talk too much spoilery stuff, so I'm trying to keep things very general. But usually in these shows where you only get a small piece of the pie, it's really helpful if you know what else is going on. So for example, I'm watching Agents of Shield playthrough right now with someone who's never watched it before, and at least several times she's told me, "So where are the Avengers? Why aren't the Avengers getting in?" Because in Agents of Shield, and it's an old show, so I'm not giving you anything that's spoilery. But in Agents of Shield, they have several challenges are really above their weight. I mean, they have world destroying events that they're dealing with, and sometimes it's like, okay, why don't they just call in
Tracking from position.
Iron Man or Thor or Hulk
Through my armor.
to help,
I'm ready.
because they really don't have the firepower to deal with some of the
Got it,
things
Commander.
that they deal with. Now they, of course, find a solution because TV show,
All weapons are
but it would be really nice. It would be really nice if they would say, "Oh, by the way, we tried to call the Avengers. They're tied up with another significant threat, so they can't help us right now," or something like that. So what I'm hoping with Wanda is we'll get something like, "Oh, well, you know, the Avengers are tied up,
All
or
right, let's get down
they're
to
busy
it.
with something," because it would make sense that, because Wanda is extremely powerful. I mean, she's world-destroying powerful, that the Avengers would say, "Hey, you know, our teammate is not doing so well. Maybe we need to go help her out." Plus, if anybody was going to come in, say fly in and talk to Wanda and say, "Hey, you know, what's going on with you?" You think it would be one of her teammates, right? But you know, that's a discussion for another day. But
This should be good.
ooh, nice hits on that Panther. Yeah, there is rumor that there are rumors that the X-Men could become a component of WandaVision. I think we've seen verification that things tied to the X-Men are going to be definitely in Falcon and the Winter Soldier for sure.
Coordinates received.
Fury didn't call the Avengers in due to having to explain while Coulson is not dead. Yeah, I mean, M. Simmons, I understand that logic, but I don't think Nick Fury would let the world almost be destroyed just to keep a secret. Or maybe he would.
Reporting. Negative damage.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's... I see what you're saying. Dark design. So, I mean...
Affirmative.
You have to remember some of the issues with the movies, with movie making, is budgetary and also contractual. So, for example, the Avenger, as far as when the Avengers had the battle in New York, you would think they could have brought in Daredevil, or they could have brought in some of the characters that were already on Netflix, for example, to help out with the Battle of New York. But contractually,
What do you want?
Disney did not have the right to use those characters because they were being used by another studio. And the rights were sold to Netflix to do, for example, the Daredevil movie or TV show. So they couldn't have Daredevil show up in a Marvel movie while Daredevil was being used by another studio. It wouldn't have worked well. So, you know, I do think, you know, one of the coolest parts... that
Mech
hurts.
is coming apart.
That hurts. We just lost all of our weapons off of
What
our
can I do for you?
Panther. Or most of our weapons off the Panther. So, you know, I think one of the coolest things about Endgame,
Commencing
and
Alpha Strike.
we're almost 2 years after the release of that movie, so I think I can say this.
Did you see
The
that?
final battle where they had everybody come in was so cool
Commander?
because there were so many characters in the mist. And I think in a couple more years, when the MCU has fleshed out its universe, you're going to see more events where they literally have like 100 heroes
go.
in a battle. That's something that's going to happen.
That would be a miss.
Yeah, that story in the comics, they did have villains fighting the alien invaders too. Darker design. So that is accurate. And that is one of my coolest things, because there are instances in the Marvel comic book universe where the villains will cross sides to fight with the heroes when there's a larger galactic
Mission
threat.
successful.
And that's happened many times in the comic books. Doctor Doom has become an anti-hero many times. There's also been instances where for a short period of time, villains join with the heroes to oppose a bigger threat. Secret Invasion is another good example of that. All right, mission complete. I love the fact that we're having a wide range of conversations in the chat room. All right, so, got some damage to the fire starter. We didn't lose our weapon arm on the Panther. We lost the other arm, so that's good. That's going to cut down our repair bill. All right, let's look at the salvage here. We're going to take the Dervish part. We're going to take the Blackjack part. And the fire starter H part. And wait. No. Sorry. Fire starter part go away. Blackjack part go away. Dervish. And let's see what else we get. So we got the Blackjack part. We got a regular Dervish part, a Locust, a Panther part, and 2 primitive Dervish parts, and a Vulcan part. Alright, that's pretty good salvage for this level of a mission. I'm happy with that. So that is true darker design. So there are instances where the comic book universe, because it's so much more broad, because it's been around for 80 plus years, they have that depth of characters, and they don't have the contract issues where they've given rights to other people that they have in the movies. But I think over time, the universe will continue to flesh out, and you're going to have more situations where, say, the Avengers are fighting, right, in New York, and Daredevil shows up and does like a quick little cameo. Or maybe Spider-Man swings in, even though he's not at the time a regular member of the Avengers. He comes in and stops by, or Power Man, or something like that. So I think we are going to see more of that in the future. Because when it's a short cameo, it's relatively easy for them to write that in. All right, let's stop by the barracks.
Yes, Commander.
I feel like we have some traits that we can
Training complete.
upgrade here.
Orders.
A skewed 1. Let's up your piloting. Probably more important than your tactics, although we can do both.
Mech warrior training complete.
Confirmed.
Coach, we're going to do your piloting.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Ready for
Goggles. All right, we're going to upgrade your abilities here.
Training complete.
I always tend to select the passive abilities versus the active abilities because I feel like you get
Mech warrior training
to use the
complete.
passive abilities every round,
Waiting for orders.
whereas the other
What can I do for you?
positive active abilities,
Confirmed, Commander.
you only get to use them relatively few times on a mission. So
I'm on the clock.
I always tend to like the active abilities if I have a choice between, or the passive abilities between, if I have a choice between the two.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Ooh, all right. So we can have a tortured lemming. Do we want a ballistics master, an energy master? I think we should have an energy master. Tortured lemmings would be a good energy master.
Mech warrior training complete.
So did everybody have a good weekend? Tell me if you were able to have some fun. I know most of us are knee-deep in COVID shutdowns, but if we are able to have fun, it's always good to share that. All right. Let's take out that other jump jet here, too. All right, so... All right, we got 2 tons. One of the biggest problems with the Panther is there just isn't that much I can do with it. I'd almost rather have heat sinks with that tonnage. Yeah. Jump jets really don't help me with the Panther that much.
Shouldn't be too hard.
Alright. Day to repair the fire starter. Darker Design says, my weekend was okay. Found my computer can't actually run BattleTech because of my video card. Oh no! Oh no! Darker Design, are you going to upgrade the video card? Because if you can't play BattleTech, then there's probably a lot of games that you can't play. So it's going to have to be a situation where you might just have to bite the bullet and upgrade the video card. Okay. Oh, so I can put together a Vulcan and another Panther. Alright, so... Alright, let's put the Vulcan together. Hey, I feel the pain, Darker Design. I replaced my PC just 3 weeks ago, and the upgrade over what I got 3 years ago is just amazing. So, all right, we can put another Panther together here.
That mech you wanted is back online.
All right. All right, so we got a. Let's take a look at the Vulcan we just put together. Vulcans kind of get a bad rap. They definitely can be used. The challenge with this one is it's yeah. I'll probably keep this Vulcan as is, because a Vulcan actually does use its jump jets pretty effectively. Yeah, we'll keep this Vulcan stock for now. The Panther, though, we're going to do my classic take out the jump jets. Move and switch out the jump jets for armor, because we can immediately get this into the field and make it much more durable.
Right. I'll get it in the schedule.
All right. You don't want to replace, since you really don't do PC gaming. I just want to play BattleTech. I mean, you can put together a pretty decent Darker. I mean, the benefit that you have is that you have the computer knowledge to build your own computer, and you could probably put a really good system together for like 1,000, or even less than that. So I would probably go that route if it was me. Just put one together. I don't have the time or the computer abilities to put one together from scratch. The best I can do is switch out components. That's about my maximum. All right, so we got a raiding party. Let's take that mission. That looks good. All right, so we got Pokey. We just got that new Panther. Let's put our Energy Master in the Panther. That would be a good use of the Energy Master. Goggles, let's upgrade you and put you in the Vulcan. I think that's a nice upgrade for Goggles. And, you know, we're doing okay with that Raptor. So let's do that. All right. While this game loads up, I'm going to take 2 minutes just to do a quick bio break. So I will be right back. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry for the interruption. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Command
Yes, Googles, I
interface
got you an
initiated.
upgraded coffin. And darker design, I understand the COVID is jacking up the supply chain. I was very fortunate to find a stock computer
I got icicles growing.
that had a really good motherboard, and it had a 380 graphics card combined, but it was not cheap. It was not cheap. So I think
You betcha.
a lot of people are forced to do ready-built PCs for that reason, that the supply chain is not that great right now.
Moving to
But I hate to see you not able to play BattleTech. Is there any... so it's just the graphics card is completely unable to play the game. There's some things you could do to upgrade a older computer software-wise. I always recommend that people use a software called Process Lasso
waiting on you.
that
Commander.
really does a good job of upgrading the performance of
Got
BattleTech.
it.
Crypto miners are scooping up the 380? The 3080? What are crypto miners using the 3080 for? Ooh, oh no, we got a Warhammer. Oh boy. That's some real salvage, folks. we go from lights to mediums one round, and then now we're up to heavies. This is going to be interesting.
I hear ya.
If we're stepping up in competition,
Got it. Max speed.
this is
no
good
shooting.
news. All right, Gog. I'm putting up the Panther right in front of the line because we want to keep the Warhammer with impaired sensors. It's very important. We want those sensors impaired on that Warhammer, or it will tear us up. Looks like it's just a Warhammer and some vehicles, maybe, to try to offset the challenge of the Warhammer all in and of itself. Huh. Wow. Interesting. So I didn't know crypto miners were using graphic cards to mine for currency. That's crazy. All right, let's hit the Warhammer again. Yes. Keep those sensors impaired.
Commander?
All right. So let's let's look at the options for our Vulcan here. We want to keep our Vulcan evasive. Got a J. Edgar. Yeah, I think these vehicles are meant to offset the threat of the Warhammer. Bitcoin. I never know if Bitcoin is going to be a house of cards or if it's going to be the currency of the future. I can never
dropped my coffee and I'm
get a hold on it, which is why I never invested in Bitcoin, because the rise and fall of the value is just too crazy.
Down to it.
It gets to the point where it's funny money. But I'm probably missing the boat on that.
Let's see if I'm
Alright, let's see if we can start getting some structural damage on that Warhammer, maybe. Close. I still think Bitcoin is a house of cards. I mean, at any point, because Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are used a lot by for criminal enterprises because it's untrackable. So I wouldn't be surprised if someday many of the countries got together and just said, "Nah, we're done with cryptocurrencies because they're being used for nefarious purposes." Yeah, I cipher, but I get what you're saying there, and I don't disagree, but money is the same thing, right? So money, dollar, pieces of paper coinage,
Waiting for orders.
whether it's a dollar, a euro, or I think they're bringing the pound back too, they have no real value because they're not based on the gold standard. I can't go in to the bank and say, "Hey, here's $800, give me an ounce of gold." It doesn't work that way. You have to take the money to a jeweler and purchase the gold, and usually there's a significant
Waiting for orders.
cost to that, to switching out
I
your
read you, Commander. Moving out.
your dollars to coins. Usually the coin dealer wants a significant amount of markup for that. Alright, let's keep hitting this Warhammer. We got some structural damage. It'd be really nice if we could hit the leg
Firing
here.
everything I've got.
Come on. Well, we hit one of the legs, not the leg I was hoping for. Right, both legs of the Warhammer are damaged, which means we might be able to get 3 pieces of a Warhammer. Oh, we got another fire starter. I've got plenty of fire starters now. Don't get me wrong, I love my fire starters, but
Heading out.
you can only have so many before you have to say, "All right, I need something else." Fire starter. Yep, let's keep hitting the Warhammer. Come on, hit a leg. No, center torso. That's not good.
I'm ready.
That is not good. Alright, we're going to start jumping the Vulcan.
Got it,
Keep it
Commander.
evasive. Alright, can he hit the leg here?
Roger.
Come on, hit the leg. Hit the leg.
This just in. Critical hit.
Yeah, darker design. I mean, that has historically happened. Where the rich will
I'm on
leave
the clock. What do you want?
the people that are late to the party holding the bag.
All right, let's get down to it.
Happens all the time with the stock market. So the stock market is very heavily manipulated. You know, there's a bunch of people who literally just have computers decide, oh, you know what? It's time for the stocks to go down right after we sell our shares. It happens all the time in the stock market. Ooh, I think we got 3 parts of that. I think we'll end up with 3 parts of that Warhammer. And the Warhammer would be a nice addition to our lance, that's for
Showing minor
sure.
damage.
Alright, so we got the fire starter and a bunch of vehicles. Okay.
Commander?
Alright. So we gotta keep this raptor evasive.
Double time.
See if we can get it flanking. I do like the potential of this raptor with
Firing
3
everything I
ER
got.
medium lasers is actually a really nice vehicle hunter. As long as it stays evasive, it's actually pretty viable, even for the light tonnage.
Good to go.
Alright, Panther. Alright, Goggles, what do you want to shoot at? The Galleon, the J. Edgar. Yeah, we gotta go for the Galleon here. It's pretty much a no-brainer. Nice hits on the Galleon there. So we want to follow up the hits on the Galleon with hits on from another mech before it turns.
What do you need?
Otherwise, we'd have to start all over fighting the Galleon because it would turn its armor. See, right now we're facing the damaged armor. If it rotates, then we got to start this process all over again. So can this PPC push through? No, not enough. Oh, see, it already switched sides.
Leaving you.
Mm.
Rolling.
Alright, so hopefully the Vulcan... bad hit percent chance. Yeah, we're gonna have to go for the fire starter.
Locked and loaded.
Ooh, Huron Warrior with a Gauss rifle. Oh boy. I'm glad these enemy mechs didn't all attack at once, or we would have been in a tough spot.
All right.
The fact that these guys all kind of came in one at a time really helps. I'm just going to try to power through this fire starter here. Don't really need more
Nothing
fire
like the
starters.
sweet
If there was an
smell
Omni,
of
that would be
justice.
different. But I don't really need to prioritize the fire starter, especially since we've got better mechs on the field. Ooh, hard hits on our Raptor, even though it was
Can't take
evasive.
many more hits like that.
Alright, we're going to have to take care of that Raptor the rest of this mission. That Raptor is very breakable. Very, very breakable. Oh, J. Edgar got in melee range.
Watch the
That's
side.
convenient. That is very, very convenient. Ideally, we want to try to save that Huron Warrior for last, so we can try to take it apart as much as possible.
Good to go.
Alright, okay. Raptor. Let's go after that vehicle, and it also gets you into some cover, and you can take advantage of your 5 ER medium lasers. Hey, IMG. Yeah, it got hit on the arm. Good to see you, sir. How have things been treating you? IMG and I had a lot of fun playing Baldur's Gate 3 yesterday. You can watch the replay at your leisure. We also are going to be playing
Waiting for orders.
some D&D tonight with Divinity 2. So if you enjoy that type of gameplay, please check that out. That's at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific.
Reporting. Vehicle destroyed.
Oh, IMG, I'm glad you had some family time. Did you see your sister?
Ah, I can see why people enjoy this line of work.
I'm here.
Alright. Ooh, see, they're trying to... It's so tempting to go do melee on that galleon,
I'm your
but that's a trap. That's a trap. We don't want to do that.
Locked and loaded. Here it comes.
There we go. Vehicle destroyed.
A vehicle.
Retro Monday will be at 2 p.m. Pacific, then Divinity 2 with 4 humans at 7 p.m. Pacific. IMG, have you decided what you're going to play for Retro Monday? Give yourself a plug.
Clock, what do you want?
And also let me know so I can put it
Let's
on the
get
schedule.
down to it.
Alright, let's keep hitting this fire starter. Might as well do precision strike here, try to get the most of these
Let's
missiles.
see if I'm sober enough to line this up.
Try to burn through that armor. The J model has a lot of armor because it's a little skimpy on weapons. So the J model is a good brawler. Alright, so Retro Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern Time will be a surprise. So if you like surprises and you like retro games, please check out our channel at 5 p.m. Eastern Time today.
Affirmative.
I do like this Raptor with the 5 medium lasers. It's a lot of firepower for such a small mech.
Enjoy this line of work.
It's just very breakable. There goes the fire starter.
Waiting for orders.
Alright, let's get a...
Got it.
We're going to have the Panther work on just making sure that we get impaired sensors on that Huron Warrior every round, because he's going to be shooting that Gauss rifle at us. And we need to make sure... In fact, we're going to have the Firestarter P also work on keeping the sensors impaired on that Huron Warrior. It's going to be really hard for him to hit with that Gauss rifle.
I'm your spaniel.
If we keep him sensor impaired. Oh, we got another mech. Oh, an Oswar. Alright. Yeah, we definitely stepped up the level of competition here. The last 2 missions.
Engaging.
We're not dealing with just lights anymore.
I'm on the clock. What do you want? All right.
We should
Let's
probably
get down to it.
focus down on this Huron warrior before that Oswar shows up. The Huron warrior and the Oswar are not exactly the most imposing threats, although the Huron warrior with the Gauss rifle definitely is a little more dangerous. But the two of them combined, especially since that's a missile build Oswar, it looks like.
I just dropped my coffee and I'm fucking angry.
Yeah, look at that thing. That might be a nice missile boat for us. Ouch. Hard hit on our Vulcan. Didn't punch through, but we're going to have to be very careful with our Vulcan.
Good to go.
Alright, Raptor, let's make sure you are in the mix, but not in the front line.
Coordinates received.
Because I like your firepower. Those 5 ER medium lasers, especially if they hit in the same spot, can do a fair amount of damage. Nice.
What can I do for you?
Alright, let's shy away from the
On my
Oswar and more towards the Huron warrior so we can focus fire.
This should be good.
Ooh, nice center torso strike on that Huron warrior,
Yeah.
which would be good if I wasn't trying to pick it apart.
Standing by. Copy that.
We might end up just destroying this thing with a center torso strike. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen here. Unless we can get him to eject.
Standing by.
Alright, that Vulcan's kind of exposed. See if we can start working him back to the rest of the
Away. Double
lance. Ooh, I wish this was the AC2
I'm on the clock.
version
What do you want?
of this mech.
All right.
Could really
let's
try to
down
get some
it.
knockdown here. Maybe we can
Let's
get it
see if I'm sober
with a
enough
nice
to
missile
win this.
salvo. I just don't have enough missile boats here. Ooh, engine destroyed.
Obligated
Oh, we got
to
4
per
parts
kill.
of that Huron warrior. Very nice. We're gonna have some difficult salvage choices. That's for sure. I think we have 2 or 3 Warhammer parts. We've got 4 parts of that Huron warrior. It's actually a nice build because it has the Gauss rifle. Not sure how we got 4 parts out of a center torso strike. That's highly unusual. Alright, let's start using our numbers against this guy. So
Sprinting.
let's try to flank with the Raptor while keeping it under cover and evasive.
Commencing Alpha Strike.
See if we can pick this thing apart. We got numbers on our
Good to
side.
go.
And again, we're going to try to use our PPC mechs to keep this Oswar with sensors impaired.
Yep.
People don't really understand the value of censored impaired, especially with BTA. But each time you hit
Roger
with a
that.
PPC, you significantly reduce the accuracy of the enemy.
Serve.
And that's the real value of
Look, Mom, I'm flying.
the PPC more than actually doing damage. The damage is kind of like a perk. But the sensors impaired is really
I'm on
the
clock.
most powerful
What do you want?
contribution
All
for
right. Let's get
a
down
mech
to
with a
it.
PPC. Oh, the Huron Warrior has an XL engine?
Let's see if I'm sober enough to line this up.
That's juicy. That's juicy. Installing XL engines is very expensive for me at this stage, but if we can put a mech together that already has one, that's really
Far
nice.
so good.
This Oswar is a
I can see why
beast.
people enjoy this line of work.
It is a missile beast. Oof. Another hit on our Vulcan. Gonna have to keep that in cover the rest of the mission.
Waiting for orders.
Last thing we want
Got
is
it.
to have to lose a mech when we're so close to getting some
All weapons
good
on go.
salvage.
Waiting on you, Commander. Don't need to tell me twice.
Alright, same thing here. Impair the sensors on that Oswar. So when he does hit
Aye, aye.
us, it's not going to be nearly as effective. If we hit him with impaired sensors, ooh, that was a miss. I was going to say if we hit him with impaired sensors twice around, his accuracy is going to go way down. All right, let's
Onward.
get the Vulcan into some cover here.
Locking on.
I'm on the clock.